For years, practitioners following this methodology have focused on basic applications in agriculture and health. But according to the transcript, that existing knowledge represents only 5% of the total framework. This session initiates the release of the remaining 95%. This hidden architecture splits it into 4 primary disciplines: energy and geopolitics, medicine and biology, space travel, and extraterrestrial interface. A single underlying substrate manipulates physical matter, biological sustenance, and geopolitical power. The text identifies this substrate as plasmatic fields, specifically harnessed through a material called GANs, gas in a nanostate. Physical reality and biological functions are reframed as specific manifestations of these GANs fields interacting with one another. This theoretical shift triggers an operational one. On July 15th, the Foundation ceases broad public teachings to move entirely into private, specialized sector seminars. Accessing these specialized nodes requires passing stringent security checks and non-disclosure agreements designed to filter out external threats. Processing the claims in this curriculum requires viewing the entire universe as a series of interconnected, manipulable plasma fields, rather than the rigid structures of conventional physics. The first node of this architecture deals with energy generation and its macro applications. The text outlines the rollout of the Magrav generator, launching in July for €1,200. There is a specific discrepancy in its specifications. While officially rated at a 3 kilowatt-hour output for international regulations, the transcript claims the unit functions at 7 to 10 kilowatt-hours. Reaching this higher yield requires cascading 2 power units together or bridging the system through a household refrigerator. The technology scales beyond residential power. The curriculum outlines a geopolitical application called the Peace Plan, with initial deployment testing beginning in Austria. The Foundation claims the capability to bypass uncooperative governments using targeted plasmatic fields to enforce immediate disarmament. The core mechanism for this enforcement is the induction of targeted plasmatic amnesia in active military personnel. According to the transcript, these soldiers will be rendered operationally inert, unable to recall even the names of their own children. In this framework, plasma acts as a definitive tool that unifies energy generation and global warfare control into a single scalable discipline. The second node is MoZhan, or Man-Originated Zone Habitation and Nutrition, the Foundation's protocol for space travel. Entry into the MoZhan program requires a 3-month commitment at a cost of €10,000. Operations for these early spaceflights are isolated to 2 primary geopolitical hubs, the first being Ghana. The second is a secondary hub in China, where laboratories are reportedly producing GANs materials by the ton. The European Space Agency is strictly excluded from any technological sharing under this protocol. The stated rationale for this exclusion stems from the agency's alleged associations with the Belgian royal family. The curriculum maps out a precise taxonomy of spaceflight. Tier 1, utilizing physical matter propulsion, is designated for the USA and Europe. Tier 2 utilizes field strength generation, a method projected as the primary focus for Latin America and Central Asia. The third and highest tier relies on emotional and energy field control. The text argues this method will dominate in Africa and China due to their cultural integration of yin and yang concepts. The physical mechanics of this travel rely on levitation. By generating a plasmatic field stronger than the Earth's gravitational pull, the craft-generated field feeds the Earth's field, lifting the craft. The text anticipates an 80% casualty or non-return rate for early adopters, factoring in both accidents and those who choose to remain in space. Space travel here operates as a geopolitical sorting mechanism, prioritizing regions culturally attuned to emotional paradigms. Note 3 covers biological reengineering and the cessation of consuming physical food. The workshop details how practitioners seek to achieve biological sustenance entirely through liquid plasma patches. These patches are layered with amino acids, CO2, and GANs derived from crops like carrots, sunflowers, and bananas. When applied to the navel, the field interaction theoretically feeds the body on a plasmatic level, halting weight loss and hunger. This leads to the final branch, Node 4, the extraterrestrial interface. According to the transcript, spoken language is obsolete outside our atmosphere. Emotion is the sole universal language. Deceiving non-terrestrial entities is impossible due to human energetic transparency. A human's intentions are radiated instantly through their field. To perceive these entities, practitioners followed the pineal plasmatic interface protocol. Once stimulated, the pineal gland acts as a localized high-gravity black hole, pulling in data like a cosmic radar. To trigger this activation, practitioners build a GANS lens using stacked microscope slides separated by rubber bands. The lens requires absolute purity. Users must place pure liquid plasma drops or vaporized clear water between the glass, avoiding solid GANS material. Heavy metals like lead or gold, as well as copper oxide, must be excluded because their density binds perception to the physical plane. Natural sea salt triggers visions of marine-like entities due to stored elemental memory, while refined salt provides a neutral baseline. Contact is presented as a biochemical process, a protocol to reprogram human biology to shed heavy physical elements in favor of emotionally conductive isotopes. We have covered a vast set of data points: residential generators, amnesia weapons, amino acid patches, and pineal lenses. Mapping them out reveals the hidden architecture that binds them together. Synthesizing the system reveals its central logic. Human emotion acts as a deployable physical field. This field relies on the same quantifiable physics used to pull electricity from a Magrav unit and propel a MoZhan spacecraft. It is the identical mechanism proposed to disarm global militaries and establish communication with non-terrestrial entities. The end goal of the Keshe framework requires the total shedding of all physical dependencies, from heavy metals to solid food. The framework operates as a closed-loop epistemology. Regulating one's internal emotional state dictates the behavior of the surrounding physical universe. Final takeaway: within this theoretical landscape, the practitioner functions as an independent, transparent, energetic node within a cosmic community.